What a massive win from the Rivals devs. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So you may remember that yesterday a dev diary came out in which the developers said they are going to do a mid-season rank reset. Now, I went over that in detail. I will recap bits of that in this video, but essentially they were going to reduce everybody's rank at the mid-season point and also at the start of a season. Now, of course, there was quite a bit of backlash from this decision, but I'm here to tell you guys that they've actually within, I mean, this is literally within 5, 6, 7 hours of that news going live, they actually said, no, we understand the feedback, we take the criticism, and guess what? We're actually not going to do a rank reset when the second half of the season begins. This is massive, massive news. So let me just break down what was going on here. So yesterday, the developers said we are going to introduce a mid-season rank reset. It's not going to be as severe as the end of season, or the start of season, I should say, rank reset, which is going to be -6 divisions. This was only going to be -4 divisions. Now, questions start arising immediately, and if you watch the video I put out yesterday, in which I probably could have been a lot more harsh than I was, but essentially, the only reason the developer would do this is to make you grind the game more. They are artificially reducing everybody's rank to then get you to grind back up to gold to get the next reward, which was going to be another gold skin, which I still believe is still going to happen. Which basically, like, you've got the Invisible Woman one for the first half of the season, and there's going to be another one for the second half of the season. And if you've made your way to gold, they were going to forcibly de-rank you down back into silver and below for you then to fight your way back up. But on paper, your MMR is still that of a gold player. It's just that you've been artificially reduced. And the only reason developers do this is to increase engagement, which basically means to get us to play the games more, which has been, well, it's not a good thing. And I guess this could have been the first step in a slippery slope of Rivals starting to add these type of systems to the game, which I would not be a fan of. And as I said, I should have went way more harder on this, but I was against it anyway. I mean, you guys can watch the video, it's still on the channel. I was definitely against the mid-season rank reset. Anyway, it's gone. So the developers have come out and said, no, that's not our intention. We don't want to artificially increase engagement. We don't want to make you play more games than you need to. We're not forcing you to play. So actually, we're going to step back. So with all that being said, let's just take a look at what the devs have actually said. Hey Rivals, after the release of Dev Talk 10 regarding the seasonal rank adjustment, we received a wealth of feedback from the community. A common concern was the pressure associated with having a rank reset every half season, which has made participating in competitive mode less enjoyable. In light of the community's input, we have decided to make some changes to optimize the rank system. Here are the details. Number 1, the first half of the season will still conclude on February the 21st, 2025 at 8 AM UTC. Players at gold rank will receive the costume reward, as well as Crest of Honor for those in Grandmaster and above, and the Crest of Honor for the top 500, which is one above all. And number 2, when the second half of the season begins, there will be no rank reset. Players will retain their ranks and scores from the end of the first half. To earn new rewards, players simply need to complete 10 matches in competitive mode and meet the relevant conditions by the end of the season. Rewards will include a new gold rank costume and a variety of Crests of Honor featuring distinct designs for Grandmaster, Celestial, Eternity, and one above all. We strive to make Marvel Rivals the best it can be, and the community is driving force behind this mission. Please stay tuned to our official channels for more updates on the second half of the season. Your engagement and support mean the world to us, and we're excited to continue this journey together. For more information about us, check out and follow our other social channels. So what's going on here, right? There's a couple of things. The devs are actively listening to the community, but it's okay listening to a community. You need to take the feedback and understand when it's actually good feedback, as opposed to the community just ranting and raving, which is, well, what communities do all of the time. Now, again, like I said, I can compare this back and forth to Overwatch. Obviously, I've made a lot of Overwatch videos. I've been exposed to Overwatch community and all of that kind of stuff. typically the devs, well, is it really fair to say the devs, but typically the people involved in collating the information for the developers might not have the resources that maybe a NetEase have got, which maybe results in NetEase actually understanding a little bit better and a little bit faster what's going on in their community. It could also just be the quality of the employees, but again, that's completely subjective. Who really knows? And it could also be what the devs are actually open to looking at. Maybe in the past, devs for Overwatch were like, no, we don't want to discuss that. We want to do this, where the devs for NetEase's games, and especially Rivals, are a little bit more like, okay, well, actually, we'll take a look at what the community is saying, and maybe we'll take that feedback. Like I said, this is all back and forth. It isn't just listen to what the community says all of the time. That's a good idea. But I think this is definitely a good idea. And as I say, this could have been the start of a slippery slope in which we start seeing these systems added to the game that are making us grind out the game, that are making us play the game almost pointlessly just to achieve levels that we're basically already at. Now, rank resets are still kind of annoying, and doing it every season is a lot, but I was kind of willing to let that go because the season length is so long in Rivals, as opposed obviously to games like Overwatch, which only typically does like a big rank reset once a year, I think, although you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But yeah, doing rank resets every half a season was just way too much, and it's also going to dilute the sort of feeling of achievement when you get to a rank, because it's like, why even bother if you know you're going to get, well, D-ranked pretty heavily by 4 divisions as soon as the half-season point comes around. It's not a great feeling, so I'm really glad that they've gone back on this. There's also another element to this as well, because if the developers are willing to act this fast and make these changes, it either means that they are really in tune with the community, or they can update the game super fast because of whatever processes they've got in place, and not just update the game, but update their development process really rapidly. And I think that's something you really need to be able to do in this day and age, because you cannot stagnate. You cannot go, oh, well, you know, think of what they could have done with this. They could have just said, well, for next season, it won't be in, but we're still going to do it this season because we still wanted to see what would happen, or we had these reasons for doing it. But thanks for the feedback. We hear you, which is literally the worst kind of crap ever. Instead, they didn't do that. They just were like, no, this is crap. We're not going to do it. We're going to go back on it. We're taking your feedback on board. Sorry about that. Here we go. Here's the change. And that is just, I mean, you've got to, I mean, that's just great, right? This also makes the devs feel more in tune with the community. So I guess by extension of that, then maybe you actually want to spend more money in their game because you feel like you're being looked after. You feel like they are making decisions primarily with you at the forefront. I know this game's got like free-to-play shenanigans in it. I know it's got expensive skins and all of that. It's not as bad as some other games, though. And as I said, this could have been the start of that slippery slope where these systems start getting added to the game and the devs are kind of quiet. They're not really talking about it, don't really care. But to me, this says this is a game that is run by the development team, and the development team are very in tune with the game. And also, they're very passionate about the game to the point of they're not going to let anything negatively affect the game, especially if they can see the community is not happy. They'll do everything they can to try and rectify that. And I think that's a really good place to be as a dev team. Okay, so essentially what's going to happen, right, is the end of this season, you will have the ability to earn 2 skins. So we're currently in the first half of the season. Now, if you've got to gold rank or above, in the first half of the season, you will get the Invisible Woman skin, which I think looks really good, although we can only really see the headshot of it, but I guess it's going to look pretty good because just, you know, use your mind, extend the colors out. Looks pretty good. And then the second half of the season begins on the 21st of February, but you don't actually get D-ranked. All you need to do is stay above that gold level and complete. In fact, I don't even think you need to stay above the gold level, because if you've achieved it, it's still going to be listed as a season high. But what you need to do, and this is absolutely a fact 100%, is in the second half of the season, you've got to play at least 10 games to be able to be eligible for the skin reward. And of course, if you're higher ranked, for the crest rewards as well. So it's been reduced from you being knocked down 4 divisions, having to grind back up to get the rewards, to you just need to play 10 games to get the rewards, which I think is fine. And like I said, we can have a massive debate back and forth about rank reset, but one thing that is generally always the case with a rank reset is it only really, especially when it's done frequently, it only really benefits the developers in the sense of it makes you play the game more artificially. And also, everybody that is at your rank has just been knocked down 4 divisions, which would have been the case. So you're all still at that rank. You're just at a different rank, if that makes any sense. It's almost pointless. It's just a case of chase after the carrot and try and level yourself back up to the rank you were at, even though you're still at that rank. It's crap and it's artificial. But it's only going to happen at the start of every season, which I think is fine, because 3-month-long seasons and with new heroes being added and different meta shake-ups with new team-up abilities and balance patches and stuff like that. Yeah, also as well, on the 21st, there will be a new balance patch coming out for the game as well, so stay tuned for that. All right, guys, thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed that. But yeah, I'm taken aback by this because the speed at which they responded to this caught me off guard. I honestly didn't expect they would react this fast. I mean, I wasn't even looking. That's why you can probably argue I've made this video a bit later than I normally would have done, because if I'd have seen this news live, I'd have made the video straight away. But I mean, yeah, insane stuff. All right, guys, thanks for watching. You can follow me on everything, which is at Stylosa, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. See you soon.